tripod is getting weak. Anyway, cloudy day up here. Oh God, should you even see me? I'm like half right now. Oh, there's a lot of boats in the harbor today. Must be nice to have a boat. The only boat that I can get is the one that you have in your bathtub. I had one thing that I wanted to do, and it's like I've just been watching too much YouTube, and I'm seeing all this stuff about. I was just watching a bunch of stuff about Christopher Walken, and I was like laughing at these Christopher Walken stories, and I actually have a Christopher Walken story, which is funny. So I just wanted to just talk about it. It's just randomness of life. I had this friend who had like a foundation. He used to donate. He was a rich guy, rich family, and they used to donate money to things and causes and whatever. And they had this one film thing where they donated money, and it was like a night with the celebrities. Like we went to he had like an extra ticket for Tavern. This was years ago. Extra ticket for like Tavern on the Green. And he brought a bunch of his family members, and he invited me along. And it's like a dinner with celebrities, like $1,000 plate, and you get to hang out with George Clooney and Juliette Lewis. Is that her name, Juliette Lewis? The one from Pretty Woman, the one with the big lips. So yeah, basically, and they gave out like these like awards to the celebrities, like they needed one. They're just basically ones like stuff you get at a trophy store, and congratulating them for whatever. I don't even know what the cause was. Anyway, it was at Tavern on the Green, which is like a pretty swanky place. I think it's gone now, but whatever. We went there to eat, and I had a couple of drinks, and I needed to use the men's room, and I go into the men's room, and for all the Tavern on the Green, however nice it was, the bathroom was terrible. The bathroom was like one of those elementary Catholic school bathrooms, or like one of those municipal bathrooms from like the 70s, where they had those sinks where you have to hold the hot water or cold water faucet in order to have the water come down. So one hand is holding the faucet, and you're washing one hand at a time, which is completely crazy. But it's to save water because it just springs back into place after you're done with it. So you're holding on the hot, and you're washing one hand with hot water, then you got to wash it with the cold water, and you got to turn the other one. You can't turn them both at the same time because you don't have three hands, so it's a pain. So I go to the bathroom, and I walk up to the urinal, and at the same time, coming in behind me is Christopher Walken, who also has to use the urinal. He also has to take a pee. So I'm like, he's a tall guy, so I'm like taking a piss, and he's taking a piss next to me at these urinals and whatever. And I'm not going to say anything to him. It's like, hey, you're Christopher Walken, taking a piss. So we basically finish at the same time, and then we come up to the sink, or the sinks that are there. And I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, and I tell him a story about my father. I said, I used to have this issue with my dad if we went into like a men's room somewhere, like on Jones Beach or Rockaway, because they had these kind of bathrooms there too, in the libraries and stuff. Like there used to be like, I guess, it was a popular kind of sink before they invented lasers, that my father would hold the faucets for me, both of them at the same time, so I could wash my hands properly. And then I would hold down the handles so my father could then wash his hands properly. So both win. So I told this to Christopher Walken, and I basically say, like, if you hold it for me, I'll hold it for you. And he looks at me, and he bows his head all the way down to my ear, and he goes, "Deal." So here I am, holding, I have Christopher Walken holding these faucets for me to wash my hands, and then after I'm done washing my hands, I hold the faucets for him so he can wash his hands, and that's it. That's my big Christopher Walken story. But I thought it was like funny. Just it's just like, he went like, deal. So I thought that was humorous. But I was just thinking about that, so I usually don't pregame. But I was just like, yeah, I want to share my Christopher Walken story too on YouTube, because I see all these podcasts and everybody always does like an impression of him. I can do a very good impression of Christopher Walken. I just choose not to right now because I'm not in the mood. It's cloudy here today. So, just working on stuff. Just, I got all these bolts. I'm making a new ATM machine. It's actually, since ATM's I've been working on this ATM machine for like 2 years, and these other ATM machines for another, like since the pandemic. So these art projects I'm doing here are taking a very long time. But I'm also collaborating with another artist, so it's like it's taking a while. Other than that, I guess, since I wanted to hit the 10-minute mark, I guess I wrapped up the Christopher Walken story pretty much in 5 minutes. That's great. I'm going to, I keep calling it Wellington Court, but it's not called Wellington Court, it's called Welling Court. It's in Astoria, it's in Queens. It's kind of like a location. I guess it was like semi-industrial, near a project somewhere over there. There's projects all over Astoria. Which ones, really? Ravenswood, Queensbridge. I consider that Astoria. What else? Anyway, I guess the weather's kind of crappy, but there's going to be all these murals and muralists there for a block party, which I plan on attending probably shortly after this. And I don't know, it's like, it's nice to see murals. It's nice to, just hang out with some art friends and also see some art enemies too. Or just, frenemies and other people that I don't like. Grab a beer and just hang out. But, I don't know, this whole mural thing, it's like, I guess they repaint those walls every year. Everyone comes with a new design, new something. Sometimes I just don't see the point anymore of this constant doing this and painting over and doing it and painting over. I don't know. I'm saying the words, but I'm not actually trying to come up with something tangible in terms of what is my point? I don't know what my point is. It feels like there's a pointless point. It's just not poignant. And I feel like a lot of this stuff, and because people have been painting these murals, and these murals, obviously, people are very talented, and they're actually, there's, from what I remember them being as a kid, being in New York City, how they were all just kind of crazy looking, bubbly, just, scrawl to these very elaborate pieces now. And I'm just not sure how all of it is I don't know how any of it is sellable. I don't know what you can do with it. It seems like a lot of time and money and energy, and I'm not sure what's the end game of all this mural stuff. I think I mentioned in another video, how I feel like there's a cult, there's an arms race with murals these days. The bigger, the better, the more intricately designed, and it's just people have to make better and better murals in order to get the same kind of money or less. So I'm not a muralist, so I'm not gonna, it's not for me to kind of really comment on. I'm just commenting just as an artist myself and seeing what is the value of it? What are we getting at anymore? I don't really, because a lot of this stuff, people are kind of almost it's almost invisible now. A lot of this stuff, people kind of just walk by art these days. A lot of times they don't even stop and really look at murals like they used to, or anything for that matter. Everything's Instagrammable. They see something, they might like it, they take a photo on Instagram and they post it, and that's it. They walk away within 3 seconds. So I'm trying to figure out if I go there, what am I going to talk about? What is the end game? Anyway, I'm just kind of filling time here. because because I wanted to tell a story, and I'm just kind of, I'm not, yeah. I've had better videos than this, but anyway, yeah. All right.